Okay, you know what that time it is. You know what time it is. Okay, it's stretch time. It's stretch time. We're gonna raise our arms above our head. We're gonna get the usual hold your palms out. Just to get that nice floss and stretch. We're also gonna pay special attention to our wrists. Feels good. I take a nice big sip of some ice cold water. Ah, that's good shit. That is good shit. Okay. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and I'm also a professional idea haver. Today's professional idea, you know, they always say that you should stop buying avocado toast and going out to Starbucks to buy stuff. But realistically, that is in fact just something said by the rich in order to try and shove the economic problems onto the people who can barely afford that stuff in the first place. At the same time, that doesn't mean that, you know, doing those things and then doing like your own homemade stuff doesn't save money in the long term. I.e., if you are someone who stays at home and supports her partner like I do, you are in fact contributing to the household by providing your partners with homemade meals so they don't just eat out all the time. Like, we all understand that eating out is a very expensive thing, and that, you know, even if you make a decent amount of money, if you don't have the time to make your own meals and you just spend it all eating out in the first place, well then you're functionally not making that much money to begin with, are you? This is the Daily Grind. Today is March 23rd, 2026. This is that time of the day where we come on and we do our dailies. We got some dailies to do. I've got like a whole backlog of things that I'm going to be taking care of. We got what? We got to play lands. We got to cast red and white spells. We got to cast green and white spells. Lucky, thank you so much for the biddies. And Breffin, thank you so much for the heads up about the dinosaurs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much for hanging out today. I don't think today's like a special holiday or anything. But you know what's going to happen in like a week and a half? My birthday. My very, very special birthday. Oh god, I was supposed to get throne ready and set up. I still need to set that up. So that way, for the folks that, you know, if they want to get me something for the special day, they have something other than my Steam wish list to look at. And my throne page might have things that are a little bit more affordable than like a short list of games that I would nebulously like to play. Well, from Breffin, that said, I treated myself to Taco Bell today because I had to get a medical exam today that I could safely work. Actually, you know what? Completely valid. We do the exact same thing for my wife whenever we have to take her in for an appointment, which is pretty much monthly. And it's very important to make sure to get that positive reinforcement for things that you don't really care for. And also, like, you know, a lot of those things are really draining on energy levels, cognitive care. Very important to get those treated. And hey, it was a band-aid for Watsy for those who celebrate. And they did jack all. They did jack all. The only thing that happened was that Historic got Food Chain banned because Food Chain is on Arena now. In fact, I can even pull it up. We got to see Food Chain show up in an Atali deck. Yeah, there it is. So we will have to deal with Food Chain combo in Brawl. I am not sure that I am, quote, prepared for it, but I do know that it exists now. So if it happens, it happens. No bans in Legacy, unfortunately. I don't play a lot of Legacy, but that's in part because I don't like the format right now as it is. Right now, Legacy has to deal with Tamio, it has to deal with Orcish Bowmasters, and it has to deal with Thassa's Oracle. Like, Oops All Spells will just win on turn 1, and if you have no way to interact with it, Well, there goes the match. And since I really need a deck I like to play in order to enjoy a format, if my deck isn't viable because it's just filled with all sorts of really powerful and impressive cards like those, then I don't play the format. It's like that old adage from Agatha. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, truly skilled trainers should try and play with the try and win with their favorites. Except that doesn't mean, you know, getting mad at other people for, you know, playing the stuff that's actually competitively viable. It means, hey, you know what? Either figure out a way to make your favorite strategy work, or just bow out until it becomes viable again. As Lucky mentioned on Discord, just before I started streaming, TV decided to say I'm done. I saw that. And I'm so, like, I know I'm not in a headspace to be able to handle something like that happening to me. But, like, oh god, I hope you are. I hope you are. I'm glad that you have the protection warranty to at least protect it. That's gotta help. Can I run more Nature's Claim to nick the food chain? Maybe, actually. Maybe. If we're running green, maybe a Nature's Claim is in our wheelhouse. Maybe that's in our future. Actually, come to think of it, I am playing things like Titania. I don't know that I want to run it in something like Tifa, but I definitely want to run in stuff like Titania, I think. Just some fast, efficient interaction. That's the other thing, too. I'm kind of seeing the value in just running pure naturalizes. I've been averse to running pure naturalizes in any of these decks, because when you see it and you're not against a deck that you need a naturalize against, it feels bad. But then again, don't most decks run some sort of artifact or enchantment support anyway, even like the creature heavy ones? I feel like they do. It's a little more prominent in a format like pre-modern because Mishra's factory is everywhere. Is it my think about Mishra's factory? Yeah, I think it's Mishra's workshop. No, it's Mishra's workshop. That's what it is. The 2/2 dude land. In fact, hold on, we have that card. Yeah. Oh, I thought we did. Never remember the exact name. Yeah, I'm sure someone will remind me eventually. Anyway. Just finished picking out a new TV. The protection plan just gave you an Amazon gift card for the value of what you paid for your not even 2 years old TV. Hate to. And I hate having to order through Amazon. Like, you'd think that them having their own shipping service would make things more convenient, but it actually doesn't. Because that shipping service just, like, gets run into the ground by deadline. And then because it has the Amazon wrapping around it, it's just ripe for Porsche theft. Nature's Claim is where you'd want to go for pure naturalize. The 2 mana, you want for more flexibility. Or run things with instant removal like Witch Enchanter. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Kind of that train of thought with removal where the cheaper that the removal gets, it's fine for it to be like hyper specialized. Like if I look at the Matoya deck, I am much more comfortable running things like Spell Pierce or even a Miscast. Because of that, I have a hyper-specific thing that I want to be able to address. So I'm willing to have a card that's situational and efficient. As opposed to the, you know, maybe the more general powerful stuff that costs. That's that the calibrations are all EDH related, not Brawl. But efficient is still efficient. That's also true. See, that is an example of some cross-format wisdom. I wish there was just like, you know, just a smidgen more of that, you know? Things where you can say, okay, this is my experience with like a multiplayer format, but you know, maybe this is applicable in other areas too. Speaking of which, let's play some Feather to help clear out some of these dailies. I'm gonna have to start working on some new decks, chat. I am starting to feel the fatigue from playing the same decks over and over again, and like I've been brewing. Oh no! Look at those drop frames. Ow! I hope that's not a major connection issue. Dorian, I'll keep this hand. Oh god, what is going on? Why am I a slideshow? I might need to do a restart. I hope it's not just a smothering type. Make some treasures. I don't care about that. Maybe search for a Scanta. Probably search. What is with? Oh no. This is shaping out to be really. Alright, I'm gonna have to like stop arena. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Alright. I had to have been something with a right. Nothing else running on my computer that's slowing me down? I don't think so. I got like just about everything closed off. Usually it's like VTube Studio that takes up a lot of the resources. Like yeah, VTube Studio's taking up anywhere between 10 and 20%. And then Arena comes on, and I guess... What? Arena's taking up like 50% of my GPU? What? Is Arena having, like... Arena might be having some issues. Arena might be having, like, some issues. Hopefully not. Alright, so they're gonna grab solve the equation. And they have... Oh, right. They had judgment. Okay. Mishra's Factory would let me discard cards. This doesn't work. For strike and trample. Alright. Then let's go... This will at least let me pump some stuff up and then also dig. Okay. Notably, this is going to eat my Boros Charm. Hopefully it's better. I think it was just Arena causing like some sort of like massive crash out. That one draws me cards. That one's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead, trample and haste. Oh, maybe I could have played the Soul Scars mate first. Yeah, I definitely should have considered playing out the Soul Scar Mage first. Whoops. That is missed opportunity on my part. And then this is X damage target creature, XO and Planeswalk. Absolutely. Choose. I want pay 0. Probably. No, it's probably like pay 1. Yes. More creatures is more good in this case, actually. Discard First Strike and Trample. Okay, so that was like, what, 1 point of power that I missed? See if that matters. We currently have 5 on the board. Alright, so there's Mind Stone. Smothering Tide doesn't do anything. Thank you for... that's 5, 6, 7... Yeah, I'll go ahead and pay the 2 just so that they don't get a chance to like make any treasure. Okay. Had some weird connection issues. Had some weird issues with Arena just apparently giving my computer hot flashes, but everything should be okay now. I think. I hope. Actually, I'm going to double check that task manager just to be safe. Okay. Rena's only eating like 20% of my G. Gotcha. Okay, I was gonna say, VTube Studio is supposed to be the one that's eating up the most resources because that's just what VTube Studio does. But like, launching Arena used up like 70%. Hopefully there's not like an optimization issue. Similar problems with Vadrock. Get one removal spell and then oops, all I have are removal spells. Usually with a deck like Feather, you want to dig until you find at least one spell that'll help draw you cards, and then you need to find like a protection spell after that if you don't have it. All stick fingers. Chat, it's time. Time for the combo hate matchup. I am once again unconfident that we'll actually be able to do this. Let's see. Patriarch's Humiliation can help. It stops like their big thing, but then they still get Ulamog in the graveyard. Then they just reanimate Ulamog. Is this fast enough if I have Patriarch's Humiliation? I don't think it is. Paladin, Voice of Victory. This is an aggressive start, but not one that I think gets us going. With the Brave Metal Guard, we can theoretically go into Feather. And then start trying to draw deeper that way. We have Arena of Glory to help out there too. How do we feel about that? You can go Voice of Victory. Go Paladin class, Voice of Victory. Theoretically drop Feather. I don't know if that's fast enough. I'm willing to try and like make this work. But we just Utopia Sprawl. But without even the humiliation. That something like the humiliation, we are just like completely naked. Let's see. I mean, if nothing else, you're gonna get a chance to see what this deck, how this deck just like gets there. We might have like one more turn, but we are just so slow right now. Okay, so they are just gonna Bitter Triumph the Swiss Bear. With the fight is one here now, that I'm inclined to wait for Feather. It's not like we're gonna be out racing them anytime anyway. Maybe play the Brave Metal Guard, maybe play the Paladin class. Paladin class doesn't do it. Yep, there's Ulamog, there's Arden. It's never anything else. And I'm not even going to make them show me the reanimate. I've got only so much time to get my dailies out of the way. That's old Stick Fingers. It's like a one trick, except it's really playing as more of a combo deck. And if you can't answer the combo, well then you've kind of got the same thing as it's basically trying to play a Lance deck and a meta with Oops All Spells, right? Okay. Make sure that you stretch between these moments. During these downtimes where you just like wait on the queue, it's a good time to unshrimpify yourself. Not that I'm necessarily shrimping, mind you, but like maybe that's actually, hold on. Do I shrimp a little less if I just the microphone back? I hope so. But I also don't want to be like sitting straight up. I do want to just like be in a position to be relaxed. Hit this Harvest Hands. Enchantress all the way. Selfless Savior, Anger, Confrontation. But the Killing Fiend here, we could theoretically go aggro, but they're gonna have so much like Journey to Nowhere arena type effects that Killing Fiend is probably gonna be gone. Selfless Savior doesn't do anything. I'd rather just have removal for Sithis, and the Lorne's Escape is huge too. Okay, yep, they've got land. This is a deck where burgeoning actually doesn't just like make sense. It would be really crazy not to include it. Like having just a 1 mana enchantment that cantrips immediately. Okay, Blind Obedience is... I get it. Soul Scar Mage. With Killing Fiend, that's actually pretty good. I want to be able to play Feather with Lorne's Escape open. Yep, they can go ahead. Oh, they don't have any extra lands. Hot dog. They have to have a third land if they want to go Sithis into... Okay, so then, yeah, we're going to get an opportunity to strangle Sithis out of the picture or keep developing. You'd love to see that. I don't think there's a reason for us to go out of it just yet. Strangle here before we have a chance to, like, you know, let anything happen with Burgeoning. We'll drop the Kiln Fiend. Clever Lumimancer would actually probably be better? Would it? The Kiln Fiend just, like, kills so much faster, though. If they're struggling for lands... No, I think we're still playing it safe. And then if we don't draw another land, then we can play the Kiln Fiend. Ghostly Prison. Alright. Well then, I'm definitely not... That is actually really good against our Go White strat. I can play Feather, and I can start doing things with Feather. If I do that, I am absolutely leaving Feather open to just like a Journey to Nowhere, but then they're not drawing another land and then playing Sithis. Do I have more turns to set up Swords to Plow with Kiln Fiend backup? Paladin class, yep. Okay, that's a lot of gas that they're dropping without being able to get Sithis going. How do I feel about this? I would love to get Giver of Runes set up. I would love to also be able to just, like, start punching them in the face. I think... I really want to get Feather going. Really want to get Kiln Fiend going, too. I can't do any of that. I think if I leave Giver of Runes up, and I just, like... wait one more turn, right? If I wait one more turn... Giver of Runes comes online. My creatures are protected significantly more so. Just puts counters on creatures, makes them big. I don't think we really care that much. Alex has to actually connect to us in order to do anything. Giver of Runes comes up. It's a lot worse if we just, like, don't. Also, we can't... Oh, right. Thanks to the fucking Sterling Grove, we can't actually... Oh, that's awkward for them, isn't it? I'm going to start using Lorne's Escape to... Teamer Battle Rage is really good, but not what we need right now. We need to start, like, hitting our land. Horus Charm, similarly very cool. So, like, everything just becomes uncastable. Unless... Yeah, unless... So then... You would be like just like the biggest thing to start putting together. Yep, you go ahead and do that. We're gonna go to combat and we're just gonna start beating in. Yeah. I guess this also means I don't get to hold anything up, huh? No, I don't. Yeah, everything I have just like can't be targeted or can't be cast. So really what I'm going to have to start doing is I'm going to have to start combining Ancestral Anger with some other effects. Like maybe we use Ancestral Anger and Boros Charm if we hit another land. Otherwise I'm going to start using this Fidus one. Alternatively, I can play this Kiln Fiend. Yeah. That's really awkward for you, huh? They can play enchantments, and then Calyx has to just, like, keep making my guy bigger. Meanwhile, this Alcid is also a problem. Samet's sprint is... What am I doing here? You get +2/+2 whenever I cast something. You get +1/+1. So then start pumping up the Lumimancer. I don't know. The Lumimancer is kind of just, like, bigger. Let's see. I think we're always casting Ancestral Anger. Yeah, we're always casting Ancestral Anger, I think. Blank Field Hazard. Okay. Then I can go Soulscar Mage, attack. I get 1 mana. 1 mana to use after the fact. That could be like... I don't want to like overstay my hand, though. The Clever Lumimancer is just, like, getting ridiculous. Is it worth it to use Lauren's Escape to keep scrying? I think if they have, like, any sort of target removal, I'm fine with the Soulscar Mage being the thing that gets hit. We'll just use the Samet, so that way... Esper Sentinel would also be a really good draw for us, actually. Because then that means that they don't get to just, like, cast stuff as freely either. Force looks like this are why you lean into Hour of Revelation in EDH. Isn't Hour of Revelation to destroy all non-token creatures, though? I've got exactly Giver of Runes. I could theoretically just, like, start trying to... What? If I have enough... Hold on. I've got, like, 5 mana, so now, at this point, this is where I start hitting with the Clever Luminancer. Hold on. If they pop the Alcid, they can make Calyx Pro White and then smash in. That's not ideal. Sheltered by Ghosts. Yeah, that works. Let's see that. Do I protect Feather? I think I'm fine protecting Feather from this. Because now, no matter, even if they hit me, they can make a copy of the Shelter by Ghost, but they can't actually... Oh, shit, right! They got rid of that, so I can actually hit Calyx now. That's huge for a gal like me. Okay. And they have no mana open for the Alcid either? Like, yeah, okay. I'll pay 2 for that. Like, hot damn. Now I can actually, like, Oh, wait, no. Hold on. So I don't actually get to do any of that? I don't get to play my Esper Sentinel? Instead, I'm actually just going to play Kiln Fiend and pass? Okay, they have their Conclave Tribunal, which went onto the top of their deck. I still have this Giver of Runes. And now, because they just, like, stopped our go white strategy, we're just going to start piling everything onto this Kiln Fiend. They're not going to remove it, though, because this has... No, this has Convoke. Okay. I'm not sure that that's the goal that they want. But, okay. I also have... Let's see. Is it just Boros Charm, then? I'm pretty sure it's just Boros Charm, then. Double. That's not going to be lethal, but that's like going to be like really heckin' good. Now they're at 2. That severely cuts down on their options. Oh, and then we have to discard like a card. Sure, let's go ahead and drop this Swiss Bear. Yeah, it really doesn't matter at this point. I am pretty sure that we got this. Unless they just like randomly run a 3-mana Wrath. Like, okay, yeah, they went ahead, they convoked. We're gonna go ahead, give Pro White. And then we just get to attack in again. That was weird. Like, I thought for sure... Oh, wait, hold on. Right. Pro White with the Alcid doesn't actually do anything because it makes the aura fall off. Okay. Right. And at that point, they could have, like, made a copy of the Ghostly Prison, though. If they had made a copy with the Ghostly Prison, I would have a significantly harder time fighting through that. Because then it's, okay, I get to attack with my Kiln Fiend, but I can cast, what? Ancestral Anger for Trample, and then Giant Strength. And I don't have the mana to pay for the Boros Charm either. A little bit of a strange game, helped out by the fact that our opponent could not find their 4th land, but so it goes. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. See, we've only got... How many? Hold on, how many? Got like 3, so that's like 4 total. 5 even? Great, I can get the last of these avatars and then never have to look at this part again. I'm not even getting them because I like them. I'm just getting them for the FOMO. Alright, now we can go ahead and look at green white decks to help fill this out. I really want to try this Amara deck out some more. This Amara heroic deck is kind of cool. I like it. Playing into it by not having the early lands to accelerate the burgeoning. I think it's probably one of those high risk, high reward type cards, right? Like it's no, the hands. Without knowing like the exact contents of their hand or why they kept it, it seems somewhat reasonable. It seems a little reasonable to me because they only had the 2 lands, so they can guaranteed Sithis. If they get a chance to untap with Sithis, the hand just goes crazy. So they were probably just like gambling on it. What are we up against? We're up against Marlin. This hand might be fine. We've got some protection if they have any sort of removal. Yeah, if they just like see their land drops or even just like keep Sithas out, they're fine. Seemed a good start, and Sithas drawing cards. ASAP does draw things annoyingly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It seemed like it was a gamble that just didn't pay off. If they see any amount of extra lands on top of that, it works out well, right? Also, I have to think now. I can get rid of this Lauren Loam Speaker if I attack in, and target creature gets 2/2 until turn. If its power is 2, then it fights target creature you don't control. I can use this and deal with the Loam Speaker. I think I'm going to, rather than waiting on Amara. Because I do want to play Amara with backup. And this will at least let me hold up the Ranger's Guile and the Blossoming Defense if they try and remove her. Ah, come on. Mana dorks for days. Mana dorks for days. It is a little annoying how they are going to be able to like cast pretty much anything in our deck, but so it goes, I guess. I just hope that they don't hit anything like too good. We tried to slow them down, but they get the upside of Marla is that you do get to just like play nothing but mana dorks, kind of like Vaja. At least this isn't like nearly as powerful as Vaja, right? Ooh, Champion of the Perfect. Sure. Yep, that's a good one. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you just like straight up draw a card. And I've got Lauren's Escape, Brave the Elements. I'm going to attack in kind of no matter what, but it gets really awkward really fucking fast. I can always cycle this if I... No, that's not the cycle land. If I had still my fight spell, I could do that, but then they would have just like have the 1/3 that just blocks indefinitely. You hate to see this. You hate to see this. Is it worth trading? I don't think it is. This is why I don't normally play aggro decks, because so often I get into these situations where trying to play the aggro side of this means that you just get walled by anything. Flash of Light's really good. Groundswell, isn't it? They only get like what, one spell? Yeah, one spell. They can go ahead, shoot it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my Escape here. White's at a premium, and I need the Scry. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. We needed a way to get under it, but that Champion of the Perfect just fucking slows us down. That's... If we hadn't popped our removal, like, as early as we did, I was trying to get tempo. But sometimes you just have to really take your chance. If we had, like, a second removal spell as a follow-up for Marlin, maybe. It's something I'm kind of It's something I'm finding with the Jeskai Premodern deck that I started playing. You have to be really selective with when you use removal. When what I want is to just have removal all the time. I.e., I'm trying to play non-control decks with control deck mindsets. Elney, Coordinated Clobbering helps out a bit. This hand seems theoretically a little slow against Vaja, who we were literally just talking about. The good news is our removal is small enough that, you know, we can try and get under Vaja's ward. This is what? Tap 1 or 2 untapped creatures. They each deal damage equal to the power to target creature an opponent controls. Confessor's Bindings will let us tap down creatures at our end step to draw extra cards. Which is... Oh, that's actually amazing. That's an amazing draw, that Stalwart. It means that now I can go... Here's a Stalwart. Here's Confessor's Bindings. No attacks. Tap both of these. Get a redraw immediately. Now we can go ahead, play Amara. We've also got Delny coming up. And then I just really want... That's 5 power? If I attack with a Counselor, that doesn't work. If I play Delny into... anything else that helps? I'm going to play Amara because then I could combo that with the Stalwart here. Moon Tenders. Am I naming Elf or Cavernous Souls? Probably Elf to help with Amara? Probably Elf to help with Amara. And now I have 2 mana to work with. So I would love to get the Delny down, but I just don't have them make that. I don't want to attack because what I want to do is I want to... Also, this gives attacking tokens 1-0, and whenever we cast our first creature spell each turn, that spell gains Mobilize 1. Not going to matter too much here. What really matters is if we can find, like, some way to pump up either Banaush Captain or Amara. Delny is going to make it, so that way anything that we have power 2 or less can't be blocked. Appeal. Target creature gains trample and gains XX, where X is the number of creatures you control. Well, isn't that interesting? So we're going to have potentially 5 creatures. Yeah, we're going to have potentially like 5 creatures. That's +5/+5, which means that Banaush Captain Knight Counselor already works. I have to be careful. I need to... This is basically going to cost me 4 mana. So this is a 5 mana play. I have exactly 5 mana. I can't do anything else. So we're going to go to combat. I'm going to attack with a Knight Counselor. The question is just, do I enlist? I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. So I think we enlist. We... Just enlist there. We'll go ahead. We'll use Amara. And then we get the boon. That way our next creature comes into play with a counter on it. Yep, and then naturally they're not going to block. Oh, that's a sorcery! Fuck! Fuck me! Fuck! Fuck. Alright. Whoopsie doodle. I'm still going to do it, though. Yeah, that's 2 creatures. So, hold on. Tap an untapped artifact or creature to add a mana. I'm going to need... Shit. Shit. Am I just going to lose my Confessor's Bindings for this? I might be. I still need to do that, though. Yeah, I'm going to lose one of my... I'm going to lose my Confessor's Binding. That sucks. Wait, no, I didn't have to do that because it was already 4 power. God damn it. Tap 1 or 2 untapped target creatures. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck me. Fuck. 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 Alright. Alright. I fucked up. I fucked it up. I did not read my cards, chat. This is tap 1 or 2 untapped creatures you control. They each deal damage equal to the power. I just... We're gonna see how badly we get punished. Faja gets so ridiculous. So fast. This is tap up to 2 target creatures your opponent's control. Creatures you control gain vigilance. So I can use authority. I can use that to block... What, that Death Toucher? Faja? I mean... Okay, yep. Everything is fucking huge. The Delight Halfling doesn't get bigger. No, it does. Okay. I mean, I can now crack back for what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can crack back for 9. This doesn't matter because Delany already makes everything I have unblockable. Tap up to 1. Tap 1 or 2 untapped creatures you control. I can use that. Faj is too fucking big! Jesus Christ, I screwed the pooch on this one. Okay, I guess we're just jamming. Think for a second. That's what that's really what I want to do. Yeah, go ahead and I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I am so mad about that. I am so mad about that, chat. In fact, I even just messed that up because I'm not supposed to enlist with the Banalish Knight because then Downey doesn't make it. Oh god, we need to read our cards. We need to spend some time just reading cards. I told myself, this year, Hero, you're gonna read your damn cards so that way you can, you know, that way you don't get these moments. Better luck next time. Yeah, better luck reading. At least, you know, it doesn't cost us anything, right? At least Brawl doesn't cost us anything, ergo. The only cost is our pride. This is a terrible hand. We've only got, like, one colored source. Tail Swipe, Blizzard Brawl. None of this does anything. This is a little bit better. Authority of the Councils is huge here, actually. Now we can go ahead, go straight into Amara. Moonarch Veteran is going to get them life. I need Amara going. Got Savage Swipe. We need to save this for a high priority target. Means we're probably dropping Portico next turn. Nope. Nope, that is removal. Target creature gets 1/1. This is an actual instant. So that's pretty good. Nope, don't need more land right now. And then we'll just replay Amara next turn, I guess. You are destroy creature mana value 3 or greater. The Enduring Instance, draw some cards. That's not what we would like them to have. Okay. We can come back. We can come back from this. We're gonna be okay, chat. We're gonna be okay. I'm really just concerned about this Elspeth here more than anything. I mean, if they just have removal for Amara, that is just like another point of weakness for the deck. We're really trying to rely on being able to push with Amara. Okay, so are they just playing like white token stuff? I guess. Makes a white token. Yep, there's Ossification that eats Amara. We have Lance to get her back. But this means that the match is going to go significantly longer than what we would want. And they just like get a redraw off that too. Not ideal. Any means, but let's see. This is just put a counter on everything. Well, the Enduring ends still attack. Yep, Elspeth comes in. Elspeth can just like give everything flying, yeah? Yeah, she just gives everything flying. Oh no, they're just gonna make 2 soldiers. Okay. Were we supposed to mulligan to a slightly more aggressive hand? Because I feel like we're just not doing all that much. They already got the draw off the endurance. I don't think they care about this. Like, yeah, go ahead, hit this thing. Grab another force, I guess. They've got like 10, 11 power in the air. Yeah, we need to mulligan for something a little more aggressively. Forgot about the other half of the porcelain gallery. Oh, we hit our dailies. There is that. It's all free. Unfortunately, we got stopped by like what? Just 2 pieces of removal. That's an us thing. Yeah, that means that we definitely didn't have enough other threats to help take the pressure off of Mara. I get really into the idea of like creature light decks where you just like make the commander the control win condition. Fortunately, what that means is that you have to really have a lot of ways to protect your commander, and I don't want to spend time on boots. I think something like boots hurts the tempo for this deck a lot worse than just like having stuff to do. Proto Sauron's Bane. The ends up kind of being like a black-white control deck. There might be a Ratcher pick in there. There's a Thought Partition here, which we can use to scout out their hand. A Gene Pollinator that we can use with a Mara to start building an army with a fight spell with a little bit of backup. The only issue is that we have a Canopy Vista here, which means that the Gene Pollinator doesn't come down turn 1. Am I willing to hold on to this because the Ranger Scout also offers protection? I'm willing to give it a try. This is one of those hands where I'm not really convinced that we're supposed to keep this. It might even have been correct to go turn 1 planes, but we don't have like any strong follow-up. Okay, there's a Signet. This basically means that we can just like do whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and Thought Partition first. Alright, so yeah, like I said, it's removal, 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 and then Samwise. Bloodchief's Thirst. That's probably the one thing that I might be worried about. If only because it hits the Pollinator though. Like this does hit Amara, but we can instant speed for that. Bitter Triumph lets them just like cast it on our turn, and then we use protection on Mara. Then they get to untap, and then they get to remove her again. Path of Exile, I don't really care about that because that just like does the thing. I'm gonna hit the Bitter Triumph to make that worse, and then we also drop the Pollinator. So they want to use their official removal, they have to do that. And if they want to use Path to get rid of Amara, we have such a significantly easier time casting her again on the next turn. And then, yeah, they are going to go ahead and Bloodchief's there. Advantage of something like Greaves is that at least it comes down before an expensive commander. Not great for once you have to target. Exactly, yeah. Ocelot Pride's pretty good here, too. This is an instance where I am perfectly happy to go ahead and run out Amara, because the Ocelot Pride is significantly harder to do. Okay, yeah, that's just going to go ahead and level Frodo up to a 2-3 halfling. That's fine. I guess I could have tail swiped. Yeah, I could have tail swiped and stopped that. This is choose target creature you don't control if it's phase. Kind of messed up. During your turn, quick creature has hexproof and can't be. Yep, we're just gonna go ahead and take that. This is what? Just straight up a fight? Yep, there's Mother of Runes. You'd love to see that. Okay, so then this is +1/+1, and also they fight each other. Let's do that first. Because now they can try and path to save Frodo. But that's what we have Ranger's Guile for. And now we can go ahead and start taking the offensive because their Bitter Triumph is going to take them their whole turn. And if they want to do that, they have to fight with the Mother of Runes as well. Meanwhile, I can just recast Amara. So they can't do that. And hold up Mom. Oh, they are just going to deal with Amara. That doesn't seem right at all. Okay, because now you got Frodo. Now you've got, like, Bilbo's ring. I guess I could drop the Oslet Pride, and then we get more tokens that way. Because this would be 7. Token makes 8. Play Esper Sentinel as well. Probably correct to just go ahead and get this going. Oh, were we just like one off? Yeah, we were like one off. Oh, because they had Day of Judgment. That's why they don't care. Okay, I gotcha. For some of the decks you've been doing so far, Cloak of Bat, Feather Sandals, give yourself more haste and evasion. Mileage for Brawl is unknown. Like in Bilbo's Ring, quick cost definitely a thing since half of things are in Tovlar. Target creature fights target creature. Roll that as go combat attack Elspeth. All right, so they got they're gonna tap out for Frodo. They've got Elspeth. Gonna continue making creature. You become a 2/3. You become a 2/3. Those tokens just like ever trade during your turn. Equip creature hexproof. Got this favorite hoplite. That's something. See what they're willing to do. Yep. Like block, take the 1. That's fine. They only have the 1. That's 1, 2. And we get to leave Mana Tithe up. I don't mind that. This one's going a little bit better than the Elspeth deck that we fought against, if only because we have more stuff to do. But we have just like completely run out of gas at this point. All right, so yeah, the ring tempts you. Sure. They could like massively block Amara right now, and that would be a horrible trade for us. Oh, no, they're just going to go for the Anthem buff. Okay, sure, yeah. Now, attacking in is way... Oh, call the... Do I just, like, want to Mana Tithe that? I think I do, actually, just to, like, eat their 1 treasure, so that way they can't do anything on my turn. Slash a light. This is damage to equal to the number of creatures the target creature. So then what do I do? Just swing everything at Elspeth? Probably swing everything at Elspeth. See what happens. Because I really want to see what they do with their blocks before I declare anything. Double blocking Amara would probably be the best course for them. And then... is it hit Lothos so that way they can't just like keep making treasures? Or is it for Frodo? Because I'm kind of more concerned about Frodo, considering that he has the actual, like, lose the game text. Call of the Ring is really good. Call of the Ring is really good. If you have any sort of, like, go white creature deck that can consistently keep a board presence, it's really good. It is significantly worse than any sort of mid-range deck that's going to rely on, like, 1 or 2 really good creatures to carry you across the finish line. Alright, Thieves' Tools, sure. That comes into play, that makes a treasure. What I would like to do is get out of this turn. Has Hexproof and Indestructible and can't be blocked on our turn. That's fine. I don't think we care about that. They attack with Lotho for whatever reason, then... bully for me? Okay, yeah, they're going to go ahead and do that to draw and then discard. That's fine. I don't care about that. It's not going to start dealing an extra 3 damage to us until later. I could block with the token. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of into that. What if we, like, just get rid of Sam? Like, we can't block this. This has unblockable. But, like, we can actually block with Sam. Make everyone bigger. Like, the worst case is, Teferi's Protection, huh? That is not what they wanted to use that on. Holy shit. Now I can just... this isn't gonna do anything except make a new token. But, oh my god, that is not what they wanted to do at all. Yep, they can go ahead, pay 2 to draw another card. That was fascinating. Kind of was, actually. So again... oh, now they're gonna duress me. Well... they can do whatever they want, I guess. I have Slash-a-Light and Heroic Intervention. They didn't take the Slash-a-Light. Yep, they're gonna go for the draw and then discard again. That's fine with me. Past the blockers. I can now make it so that way Favorite Hoplite blocks Sam. This blocks over here. If they have like a literally anything. Yeah. Like they might just have a Toxic Deluge they want to play, right? Oh no, they do have Damn. Okay. Is there any reason for me to save Amara at this point? Or is there anything I could do? No, there isn't. Alright. Yep, we're starting from square one again. And that is really, really awkward for me in particular. Now, notably, they can't use their Call of the Ring. It does not draw them any new cards. They have to play Frodo. And I am just going to kill Frodo. Oh, that's not what you want to be doing, friend. That's not what you want to be doing. Let's see. No, no, no! That's not what you want to do! My friend! They spent all of their mana to load up Frodo. And now... Frodo just... dies to Slash-a-Light? They wanted to hold up mana to level him up so that way it doesn't kill him. Is it worth playing the Razorgrass Ambush out? I'm never actually using this to kill Frodo as long as they have Bilbo's ring. And here's where Call of the Ring just like falls off completely, right? Because it requires you to have creatures on board. But if you don't have creatures on board, it just is a dead card. If I do switch this from 5 to 6, that's kind of an extra clock. Bonesaw is a weird choice. Yeah, Bonesaw kind of is a weird choice. I wonder if they have just, like, any sort of effect there that they were fighting for. Like, if they have a Deadly Dispute or something like that. But I thought I saw them get rid of one earlier. They probably have a way to cash that in for more artifacts or more draws. Why they have it there. That was still GG. I was really worried that with that Call of the Ring that they were just going to outvalue us long term. I think Dam is a fine include for the deck because it has a single target modal use and then you can use the Wrath like situationally. That's perfectly fine. I'm trying to think. Honestly, it was probably that turn where they just like pushed with everything. They just pushed with everything, right? And then they had to use their Teferi's Protection on their turn. That was probably the turn that they started just like causing themselves problems. Because the idea that they probably had was cast Wrath of God. Or yeah, cast Dam. Yeah. Use the Wrath of God effect. Maintain priority to Teferi's Protection. And then, what is it? Teferi's Protection phases out the player and everything they control, but then the Wrath effect would still resolve. Call the Ring, draw 2 to 3 cards, loot 2 more as is, did just fine. Yeah, it absolutely did. It absolutely did. So, like, it's not like it was a... It's not like, you know, once we reached that point where it wasn't drawing cards, it hadn't gotten its value. But that is just, like, in a situation like that, where you're in top deck mode, and the only other option you have is your commander, you really want your draw power to draw you into more. Okay, until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Yeah, if they had not chosen to push that turn, and instead, like, you know, they can attack with a Lotho, whatever. But if they hadn't burnt the Teferi's Protection, they can go Wrath, Teferi's Protection, protect my stuff, wipe your board. I have 3 creatures that will help me, like, draw off of call, and I'll continue to start pulling ahead. And now it's really hard for you to fight into the game. That was definitely what broke the stalemate there. Anyway, we can go ahead and go into Final Fantasy mode. Double check settings, make sure game is good. Game is good. Head start login. Turn off Music Bee. Everyone say thank you, Music Bee. You are a free and open service for managing your music collection. Oh man, look at that cat! Yeah, look at that fucking cat. Hey Sam, you are arriving just in time for some Final Fantasy XIV. How's everyone's weekend, by the way? Everyone have a good time? I got a little manic. Over the weekend. I mentioned the cube stuff last week. I actually put some time to start building the cube in Cube Cobra on my day off during my free time. 360 cards is a lot of cards until it's not. But also, I really need to start fleshing out a lot more of the ideas that I have. I'm gonna build this cube around my 5 Planeswalker OCs. So I'm gonna need to figure out exactly what the as fan for the multicolor needs to be. I need to figure out like how I want to represent these characters mechanically, and I want to need to figure out a way to do it that the theme comes through. Oh, hold on. This is the good stuff. No, we don't want. Let's see. The only elemental pieces are the chest and the gauntlet, which is perfectly fine by me. This is Shadowbringers relics. These are what you get from Baja. Oh, those are pretty. Wait, hold on. No, that's ultimate. Never mind. I'm sorry. That's the level 80 ultimate. That's Eden's Grace, I want to say. Yeah, that's like the Eden ultimate, super hard to fight. This is the stuff. That Sword and Shield are the things that only the top players can get. Should be a top player. Zorlets are the Archaeo Kingdom Sabatons offending. That's not bad. Then looks like these are the Creekurus. Okay. Not bad. I definitely want to get the Eden armor when we get this Stormblood, and we absolutely will be. Oh god, I have so much I need to take care of here. Okay. First things first, let's go over to Moogle area. Yeah, let's go over to Moogle area. Log home. Sam harvested like what? See, vote for Sam. I harvested like what I weigh in pumpkins. Got me a free Pokemon cards and a contest. Got the announcement that I'm graduating in April, so say life is good. Yo, graduations, congratulations. Good job, Sam. Good job. We're all very proud of you. I'm gonna queue in the front lines. Doing the front lines. Front lines should push Black Mage to 71. Also, I'll take care of that. Like all the set design Mario talks of. Start with a core feature first, then start rounding out what's missing from there to remaining space available. Exactly, yeah. And like I've read and listened to enough of Mario's stuff that I have what I would hope is a strong foundation for building said cube. It's just gonna be funny because I have so many like copies of Lingering Souls. Not like actual copies of Lingering Souls, but like multiple copies of make multiple 1/1 spirits in the vein of like Midnight Haunting, Spectral Possession, Liquid Spirits, that sort of thing. Chores. Fortunately, now that we're in the rhythm of what these chores are, we can just do them. Oh, which one is this? It'll pick me up. Margaret told me you'd be coming. You're sure to have a comfortable trip. Just be careful though. Some find them to be too comfortable. I myself have fallen asleep riding them more times than I care to admit, Kupo. Ride the Cloud Marshmallow and use its seed ability at Zenith. I so much. So like each of the characters, I guess if you wanted to call them factions or whatever, each character has a couple of mechanics that I associate with them. Because it's a cube, I don't want to go too hard into including duplicate cards. If I was right as your spoof, kind of, not quite. I do have something that's like a spoof though. We do have Buggos that we can ride, but we gotta specifically ride the Dandelion blob here. Okay, so like first one, the easiest one to talk about is the one that I've had the longest, Amelia. I was trying to design this in a way that was express these characters and then also do it in the style of MTG Origins. The core set card, the the core set where they did the Gatewatch 5. They had the plane that they started on and the plane that they planeswalked to be the representative planes, and they had 10 different planes in total. So I'm trying to work with that. I'm going to try and make it so that way the only planes that are represented are the planes that are starting planes and then destination planes. And it kind of works. It kind of works. One of the concessions is that I'm going to have to fill out the set with cards that might not necessarily be in that character's colors, but they are from those planes, right? So, like, I need to look at effects and cards that sacrifice in black for the black-white sacrifice deck. There are going to be some cards from Eldraine and Tarkir that sacrifice, and I'm definitely going to look at those. And even then, I have to make concessions, right? Because most of the cards that do that are going to be in Sultai. But the character that is from Tarkir, she is not of the Sultai clan. She's from, like, you know, the Kolaghan Mardu clan. And that is just the concession that I'm going to have to make for the sake of gameplay. Right? Because there's a lot of black that, you know, we can sacrifice them with Sultai cards. We can sacrifice them with Innistrad cards. There's also probably, like, cards from Lorwyn, Neo Kamigawa that will also act as good sacrifice effects. It's going to be one of those longer, or just kind of get back to it whenever I have the inspiration type things. It's just me, are taking a little bit for Frontline's Fire. Yeah, I think this one's gonna craft, so we can go and grab the other stuff. So with Amelia specifically, the things that I want to emphasize are going to be Spirit Tokens and Battalion from Gatecrash. Look for those cards that have when this creature attacks with 2 or more other creatures, do a thing. It's not like a lot of mechanics in that space, but it is enough to help get into the headspace. Right? And then that's going to be focused primarily in red and white. So the only gold cards I'm going to include for Amelia are cards that are red and white. Or rather, it's more like red-white is the only one that's going to have cards that are strictly multicolor. And they're going to be... Actually, no, it's going to be like that for all the characters. Oh, I should actually craft them. All 5 of the characters are going to get, like, actual true multicolor cards. Cards that require both of their colors in order to do the thing. For any other color combination that can be drafted, for example, I don't have green-white as one of the main character colors. What I wanted to do was I wanted to include cards that can be played in green or white. So essentially hybrid cards, but hybrid in that, you know, maybe they have an off-color flashback cost, maybe they have adventure, and, you know, maybe the creature is white but the adventure is green, as long as it fits. And then there is also the idea that... And then there's also the idea that I can include split cards and aftermath cards. Basically, you only get the full value of this card if you are playing a deck that has both colors, but it's perfectly playable in the 5 characters as it. Prepare for frame drops. Prepare for frame drops. Whoop, whoop. Oh, hey, yeah. There's Buggo. It's not the spoof, but it is Buggo. Actually, hold on. We'll be safe here. Creatures never attack. So Amelia's there. Amelia is Boros and Innistrad. He goes wide with tokens. Then we have Black Red. That one is Cloud Chaser. That one has significantly less identity, and I need to flesh her out more. Because right now the primary identity is Black Red aggro, but like the Bleeding Life Black Red aggro. It used to have a nomenclature that we do not use. Just do not use it. Not use it. No. We don't need to be using that word to describe a deck archetype, especially when it involves my wife. So Black Red aggro, but we're working in things like trying to find the raid mechanics that work. The raid cards from Tark here. There's also the dash mechanics. Dash mechanics are good. It's going to be the part of the cube that has the most dragons. Or rather, dragon period. You're probably going to cut dragons from any other color combination. But if you're playing red-black, you will get to play with dragons. It's also got knights. Knights as a not quite archetype. There are going to be cards like Joust and Steel Claw that give you benefits for playing knights. But really, I think that's the best I can really do. Looking at just the Eldraine cards and just the Tarkir cards, it's really hard to build any sort of like Typal synergy. Hence why you just kind of have to figure it out as this is Black-Red aggro, and also here's a Black-Red aggro made out of cards that just kind of are this aesthetic. I don't know. Hard to quantify without having more of the regular duders, I think. Let's see, after that is Black Green. And it's going to be Black-Green Constellation. I could probably work in a bit more Enchantress in there somewhere, but it's less important to me than just being, okay, we're playing enchantments, we're playing enchantment creatures, and we don't necessarily need to have like a ton of enchantments to make this work. So in that vein, I'm also trying to see if I can make make some of the bestow cards work. I love bestow. Bestow is going to be a big form. And wow, where did my team go? Knights is tricky because they love Job Select Dark Sword. Yeah, that is going to be one of the only cards that aren't in one of the planned planes to be in the deck, just because I think it's really important to have a card that enables this card is now a knight, and therefore you can use the knight synergy cards with it. Third win list, living equipment typo mostly. Okay, that's actually kind of sick because I was thinking about building the exact same thing. I ultimately decided not to, but like trying to make the deck work in Brawl is a long-term goal for me. Maybe, actually, hold on. Maybe I actually find a way to squeeze Sir Gwyn into this cube. The biggest reason for me to do this cube, it started as I wanted to make a cube that was just the cards that I like. Start with Firemane Avenger, the 3/3 that lightning helixes whenever it hit battalions. I wanted to use that as a starting point and just make a decently low power cube with my favorite cards. And I was like, actually, I wrote my OCs around stuff that I love. What if I actually just did that? It's still going to take like a lot of like design work to actually make happen, but that is the starting point. And in fact, I'm actually starting to wonder if I don't want to just work on blue-green as a lands archetype, like a mulch land archetype type thing. With the idea being that I just put everything that I love into these characters, right? The reason that I wrote Amelia the way that I did is because I wanted a character that represented how I felt to Magic. Had a character that felt like, actually, you know what? Being able to travel to other worlds and explore is fun, actually. I want to, you know, fight new challenges and stuff like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight the Hydra on game day. Actually, as much as I love Elspeth, let's go out and be a big damn hero. And then I've got that blue-green character, Ariel. Even though Ariel's home plane is not Strixhaven, I'm counting Strixhaven as her main, as her main world. Because even though she's from Ixalan, I don't have any history with Ixalan. So instead, it's going to be like Ixalan and then probably Bloomborough, actually. Because I really like Bloomborough. It lets you play with blue-red otters. We're not going to include blue-red otters in the deck, but we are going to use Bloomborough as a blue-red Spellslinger archetype. So finding a way to work with that and work with blue-green mage crafting, animate creature type stuff. Try and make that work. That's going to be one of the challenges. I wanted to try and mix the Spellslinger feeling of a Strixhaven with the heroic of Theros. So like, if you want to play the green-white heroic deck, right now the plans include that, right? Right now you have heroic cards in white that respond really well to combat tricks because that's what the battalion deck wants. And then also you have green bestow cards because that's what the black-green constellation deck wants. There's so many moving pieces. I really need to hone in on like the identity of some of these. Blue-green is still up in the air because I was like, oh, blue-green will just cast a lot of spells. Not as many spells when you're working with a singleton format. So definitely gonna have to borrow some cards from Sets Across. And then let's see, what was it? So we did blue-green, black-green. Oh, right. And then white-blue. White-blue is, without question, the least developed of the OCs. I haven't done anything with this character. They've always just kind of existed as a nebulous concept. So in some ways, that's a blessing, right? Because if they have less of an identity, they're a lot more malleable to the needs of another project. Ron, thank you so much for dropping the lurk. But what I have so far.
Take your money.
Ron, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I have so far for Blue White is that the character is from Kamigawa. Like modern age Kamigawa. They are a pilot. They're a character that exists primarily to interact with more modern feeling planes without feeling awkward. Like, it's a character that I don't want, that will help me when I'm writing stories that take place in, say, New Capenna, where they have literal, actual, factual beep-beep cars. Or a Kaladesh or an Esper, where they're more technologically advanced. An Edge of Eternity's story is not out of the question for this character. And then that plane that they planeswalk to is going to be Lorwyn, because then that's how they get their ferry. That's how they get their travel companion. So we have some... we put in all of the fairies that have adventures. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm trying to decide if I want the Brazen Flower in there. I'm probably going to have to put it in there for spell considerations. So annoyed the Velocibrood isn't from Edge of Eternities. They'll have to polish my memory a little bit and tell me what that Velocipod is. Velocibrood? The Speed Beast not being from Ikoria. Ah, yeah. I want to like Ikoria, I would probably love Ikoria. Let's ignore the fact that I don't have a lot of experience with Ikoria. I think I did like 1 or 2 drafts, and that was it. But I just don't like what I've heard about Ikoria, or at least Ikoria's storyline. The cards just tell a different story than like the actual printed story from the like, oh god, well, who is the fucker? Who's the guy that's like, oh, this is actually, you know, I'm a tamer, and also like, you know, fuck monsters, but not in the good way. Like, just get them out of my way. That guy. The guy who got fucking earned. Who got completed, and everyone was like, oh, no, not that guy. The fucking red-green beastie guy, whatever. The printed story makes it sound like he had... No. I think it was like, what? The cards made him look a lot more sympathetic to the beast in the fight than he actually ended up being. Domri? No, the other guy. Domri was killed in the War of the Spark. I'm talking about the dude with the wolf fox thing. Yeah, the dude with the wolf fox thing. In the cards, he sounded super cool because it sounded like he went from an arc of like, oh, I'm a monster hunter to, oh no, I am a monster tamer. Kind of like he's red white, pretty sure. He's red white in that instance. When he was completed by New Phyrexia, he was red green, and then he was just like mono red in Ikoria. Also, I think he's from Ikoria. He's from Ikoria, Prawn! Like, that is one of the absolute things that I know for fucking sure, is that he is absolutely from Ikoria. The Bonder who was a new Bonder. Yeah, exactly. That's what they call them in Ikoria, Bonders. Oh god, it was like Tao? Not Tao. I keep wanting to say Ral, but no, that's not him. Oh god, I can't... He wasn't from the original set? He was from the original... He was from the original set. He was on Strixhaven randomly as like a red-white character, as a red-white planeswalker, because that's when they were doing like double-faced cards, and you're like, oh hey, we can do it. I guess he's just here randomly. No, he was from Ikoria originally. But no, that guy like kills part of my interest in Ikoria's story. The world itself is still hella cool, but like I just don't want to bother with the actual fiction that they put out for him. Yes, but Strixhaven is not the original Ikoria set. I'm not saying it was Fron, but he was printed in the original Ikoria set. He was printed in the original Ikoria set first, and then he got a second card that showed up on the first Strixhaven set, and then he got... he was a completed Planeswalker in All Will Be One. Luca, thank you. Yes, Luca, that fucker. Yes, Luca makes me, like, too angry and disinterested in the greater fiction of Ikoria to get invested in Ikoria as fiction. As a world where, like, Bonders can hang out with monsters, if we had, like, more of the Vivian stuff, honestly, yeah, that'd be pretty great. For all I know, Vivian is more involved in that. It's like, I never saw that. Wow, okay, Luca was from the original Ikoria? What the fuck? I never heard of him till Phyrexia. Isn't that telling, Fron? Isn't that telling, though? Like, this guy was just, like, nothing. He was nothing. He was not a popular character whatsoever. And, like, they made him one of the completed 5. And All Will Be One, and it just, like, it didn't matter. No one cared. No one cared. Luca was the main storyline of Ikoria. I don't know if it actually suffered for it or not, but like, again, that's the big reason why I didn't want to bother looking into Ikoria. Thought he showed up post OG Ikoria set. Fine, you gotta trust me on this stuff. Gotta trust me on some of this stuff. Human under anti-monster general found a bond with a creature, but that creature was killed by the general. Luca kind of went crazy. Is that the... Was that in, like, the prose pieces? Or is that the story told through the cards? Because from what I remember, the cards make him look like basically like he went through a How to Train Your Dragon arc. Whereas from what I remember hearing about the novels, it made it sound like he actually just was actively scheming of like, oh man, we can use monsters. I will attack the capital with monsters, and I will be like the big cheese around here. I have to look, but he did. Yeah, that's the part I'm like less informed on. Hold on. Where is... If I had more time to like spend in Ikoриa's world, I think I'd love it. I love the whole Bonder thing. I love that they evolve and are constantly evolving. At one point, I really liked the idea that Ariel's companion was going to be an element otter. Not Lutri, but like, you know, something in the vein of Lutri. And that was going to be the justification for Blue-Red. Unfortunately, like, I just don't have as much experience with Ikoria specifically. So, Bloomburrow it is. Not that I'm going to be complaining. Actually, I can make the Sunshower Druid, the O2 Frog, for 1 mana that puts a counter on something else. If I can make that viable in this cube, I'll be really... Or at least Jackie will be... Wow, OG Printing of Luca was a mono red birthing pod and still was a nothing card. Yep, sure was. Like, I just do not see it being played, like, at all. Except in, like... I don't know... Oathbreaker? I think Oathbreaker might literally be the only time I've seen the card being seriously played. After the Heartless Act, I think Luca tapped into the crystals, specifically the Ozolith, and made a whole bunch of monsters attack the city he once defended. Honestly, same. I'm always saying this. I'm always saying attack the city with the monsters after my best friend gets murdered. Maybe he was real for that. Maybe fairies and mythic compete with a lot of really fun, powerful, unique mythical in Ikoria. I don't think that has anything to do with it, though. I think that if a character makes an impact, then people go, wow, I really like this character. I want to see more of this character. I don't think Luca has that energy. I think even ignoring the fact that his cards are, like, you know, not the greatest, the fact that his character just doesn't make much of an impression kind of, you know, makes him a reason to not really be excited. Or rather, he can't... It kind of disqualifies him from being a reason to be excited about anything that he's involved in. Like, I don't even remember how they killed him off in March of the Multiverse. Oh, hey, Master Mogzin. You got a new thing for me. Or talk about why you don't even remember him being a card in the set. I mean, that's fine. Like, if that's why you personally don't remember him, then, like, yeah, that's completely valid. Okay, tomorrow's Tuesday. Tomorrow's gonna be a new Lucky Star event. I'll have to put that off. Hold on, did I? Ah, fuck yeah! Black Mage is level 71, baby! We are done leveling Black Mage for 2 expansions. Red Mage is going to get leveled during Stormblood. Summoner gets leveled with Scholar, which I'm going to need to do at some point, but not right away. I'm going to need to queue into leveling Rollout with Astro. Yeah, I'm still queuing into leveling Rollout with Astro. Go ahead and pop into leveling Roulette. I don't... The squadron battle menus are like... They give an extra 15%, but that really only matters if you're in a hurry to level. I'm not, so we just take our food buffs and then that's it. Myla crafting companion is pretty cool. Actually, yeah. I used to see Myla in Brawl. In the... I'm going to play Super Friends and have a way to, like, pseudo protect everything. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm gonna have to really keep an eye on this tank. Give me just like 1 second to survive this pool chat. Okay, just casually give him some buffs. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm dying. I am being careful not to die. There we go. That's what we want. That's what. You always gotta like lock in for this very first portion. Alright, we should be safe now. We're good. As to Luke and all will be one, I think he kind of just changed rule to a FFXIV ambush and got captured super easy. It was something like that. From what I remember, he tried to bond with a Phyrexian beast. Oh, hey, let me bond with local creatures, you know, Phyrexian corrupted beast. And then he got completed. Yeah, exactly. It was exactly that. It was literally exactly that. Fucking dumbass. These don't die to the Gate Truck Monster. God, if I had a nickel for every time I had to say that when Thunder Junction came out. You get that good card. I don't have to like play against it as much these days, but like every time I see it, I clench up just a little bit. Just a skosh, just a wee bit. You ever think about the fact that the Phyrexia storyline got rushed out specifically so they could start doing all those universes beyond stuff? Actually, no, that's like, you know, not necessarily an accurate thing to say. That's just how I feel about it. So don't take that as gospel fact. That's probably just hyperbole. But like, that's how it feels, right? It feels like Phyrexia got rushed through, didn't get its due diligence, partly because they're doing the one set per thing. Yeah, no, let's not spend like, you know, a block's worth of time on this war. Let's only give it like the 2 sets, 3 if you want to include the aftermath, which, you know, no one really liked because it wasn't really a draft set. I actually felt bad when Nahiri got completed. But then it just turned into just her being desparked, and I was like, oh. Okay. Sure would have been nice to have that for Tamio. You know, a Planeswalker we love a little bit more than that. But, nah. Hey! Thank you so much for stopping by on this daily grind. Hey there, folks. If you know me, my name is Hero Girl. I'm a friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and I'm also a professional idea haver. My professional idea for the day: do you really value housewives if you don't acknowledge the amount of money they're saving you by helping you prepare daily lunchings? Or at 11. Emphasis on grind? Yeah, ain't that just the way? March of the Machine, released too late in April, really need more time to enjoy the progress of the war. That's what I'm saying. I think I felt it most keenly, not during, like, the actual war bit, but at the start with Dominaria United. Hey, Atomic, we are doing alright, we're just musing. Like, Dominaria United, right? That was when I was really reading the fiction. Like, I was kind of getting back into reading the prose, and I was like, okay, this is some good stuff, you know? We have Karn ruminating on how he lost Venser, how his spark is borrowed. It was some nice stuff. And then it just felt like everything else was rushed through. Like, pretty much everything about Dominaria United felt like it was just, like, dropped in with zero reverence, right? Like, oh, the weather ship is FFXIV and completed. What the fuck do you mean the weather ship is, the weather light is FFXIV and completed? Didn't they have, like, a whole thing about getting a crew back together for a brand new ship? Wasn't that, like, a huge thing? You get, like, you got a story about how, like, suddenly, somehow, Braids is back. Also, somehow, Urtai is back. Also, somehow, later on in 1, Venser is back. And before you say any, before you point it out, don't be going on with that. Oh well, it makes sense considering that their bodies or whatever were right there. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Not even close. Because, like, it doesn't really matter if it, like, makes sense. Like, why aren't we taking the time to, you know, treat this like an actual event? Why aren't we treating this like the big Marvel crossover event that you're trying to make this out to be? So you're bringing back, like, basically all of these beloved characters in a war. We're spending almost no time to get, you know, to sit on this fact that we've brought them all back outside of, like, maybe an article. Like, the whole Braids thing was, you know, half a thing. It was tied into, like, the whole thing of the Weatherlight crew, and even then we didn't get a whole thing about it. The Weatherlight crew themselves, there was no room for them in the set. Which, like, hey, you know what? We did get some sweet alchemy cards out of it, but you didn't put any room for them in the set. Hey, you know what? Hey, Watsy, remember when you said that you were going to spend more time on planes if you needed to? Isn't, like, a big declaration of war, like, one of those things? Also, this is the set where we revealed that a Johnny was completed and kill off Jaya Ballard, like, for actual and for real. And you, like, you fit all of that into 2 paragraphs. All of 2 paragraphs in the actual factual fiction. Venser was on Mirda was fine, but Urtai? Okay, the card is cool, but why would the Phyrexians even know why or who he was? He's been dead for like 200 years. Yeah. Like, okay, you can say, oh, it makes sense because, you know, they're undercover and they're, like, recycling all these corpses and stuff like that. Didn't even matter to, like, the plot or anything, right? Because in the prose itself, it's really more like, oh, no, you know, Ajani was the traitor. Ajani was venting, and he killed Jaya. No punch. No punch to Jaya's loss whatsoever. And it makes every other instance of, you know, hey, remember character? Feel like, hey, remember character? And I am just so averse to, hey, remember thing type marketing. Like, it felt like what they wanted to do was, hey, you know what? Let's check out this cool stuff from original Dominaria that everyone liked. But you already did that. You did, you know, the set that introduced sagas. It had, you know, Richard Garfield come back to help with design and stuff like that. Why are you trying to do that again during a set that's supposed to be, oh shit, Phyrexia is invading? It was a lot more poignant when we were doing, you know, Mirrodin Besieged, the new Phyrexia. You know, we had just like way more time to explore the feel of what this all meant, and it feels like they were trying to rush through Phyrexia for the sake of just having all of their loose ends wrapped up. What I wanted to see from Dominaria United, okay, maybe an increase of Phyrexians, the reveal of sleeper agents, but having the Dominaria United being united against a sliver hive. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. Alright, this was a good game. This was a good game. Yay! I got all 3 player accommodations. Alright, so now we're at 6 and 9. Nice. I can finish off these 3 tomorrow. That'll put us at 9-9. We can turn that in. We can talk to Chloe. I can start putting all these extra levels, not into Astra, but into... Oh god, what else? What else? I think we said that we were going to start leveling Dragoon next? If we start leveling Dragoon, then it's on the same page as Reaper. And even though they're wearing 2 different equipment pieces, it means that we're guaranteed to reach the end of Stormblood and be able to equip them with the exact same thing. Whereas we might not be done leveling anything else by that point. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so we'll start putting levels into Dragoon, I think. And let's go to Idealshire. We'll wrap things up there. We'll wrap things up. And this whole thing leading into Reality Fracture, I wish I could be more excited for it, but because it's constantly being interrupted by Universes Beyond stuff, it doesn't feel like we get any time to... Oh wait, no, I wasn't supposed to... Back to it. So I can actually turn some of these... like, having the Strixhaven students show up in Lorwyn because of the pass is legitimately good hype building. It's a good way to be like, okay, so we're going to Strixhaven. Here's some early bird appearances by a couple of the students, and we can go ahead and include some story beats before we get into Strixhaven proper. I like that. That's good stuff. That's good use of the Omen Pass. What do I even have? I'm actually almost tapped out. I'm almost topped off. This is gonna be weird. Actually, hold on. How am I on Wolf Seals? Wolf Seals are fine. I just need to grab more Numenite. I just need to grab more. March of the Machines had actual build-up. May lament the execution, but all will be won into March of Madness was good that way. Yeah, that part was fun. Like, I didn't hate that. But also, like, I don't know. When stuff like, oh, Elspeth is an angel now, I would have lost my shit if that had happened, like, way back during actual, back when I was, like, really into the Magic lore, Theros style, you know? I was dreaming of that moment. I was like, Aw, man, this would be like the coolest thing ever. Why can't angels be planeswalkers and stuff like that? And it just... I don't know. It's very telling for me to see something that I've been wanting to see for forever. And it just have this absolute... Oh. I guess we're doing that. Sure, why not? Reality Fracture is more what the fuck are doing that isn't just chilling in a hotel pool of New Capenna. Right, so what I was going to say about Reality Fracture is that so much of what's been happening with Reality Fracture since the end of March of the Machines has been just like background stuff. Like, if you check out the interviews with Sean McGuire, who is one of the writers WotC hired to do the pros for them, it has been so much... Oh, yeah. Like, the story was, here's Tarkir Dragonstorm, and the story is, oh my god, Jace, like, totally separated from each other. Exactly. Sean McGuire has been interviewed and gone on record saying, you know, we're trying to write these stories. We're trying to write these stories that we want to tell. And then Jace was there, too, because that's, you know, that's the mandate. That's the mandate from WotC, is that they have to include Jace, you know, being involved for some reason here, because it's all part of Jace's grand master plan, stuff like that. Taylor Drift's story was like that too. Ray's story was cool for most of the part, and then oh my god, Jace, stop it. Yeah. But if I spend all day whinging about it, I'm gonna be, you know, I'll have like doubled the stream time on Twitch, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. That is the end of the stream, though. Don't go away. We like to pass on the love. Folks, if you want to spread the love too, we have a Lead the Redeem remote for you. No one used it now, so I'll take a look. We're going to take a find. What do we get? Let's see, who's currently live? Slime is actually playing Brawl right now, which is always a good sign. Snow's playing Slay the Spire. Oh, let's see how the heroes doing on the Genshin. Ooh, Killjoe's playing Video Store Simulator. I kind of want to go right into Killjoe from doing the Video Store. Yeah. Oh, Lucky got it. Lucky says Killjoe. Okay, great. Guys, I'm gonna have to start like... I need to figure out a way to put like a, you know what? Maybe I just need to be better about saying this. But yeah, we'll go ahead and raid into Killjoe. Playing that Video Store Simulator. I have heard, and I have seen good reviews for that. Don't disappear just yet. We do want to pass on that love. Folks, this week should be a normal week, but quotations on the should be. I have therapy on Wednesday. I have scheduled it early enough that I should be home in time to do my normal stream stuff. I'm not going to hold myself to that, though. I am going to give myself the grace to, like, take the day off if I feel like the travel and the actual therapy session itself and the emotional unloading was too much and I just need some time to clear my headspace. But if I'm feeling all right, we'll be back on Wednesday streaming at our normal time. Alright? Alright. Alright, folks. So until tomorrow, we'll see you next time. Same hero time, same hero channel. Bye, everyone!